Many believe healing starts when the tears stop, but psychology says otherwise. You can smile, laugh, even succeed, and still carry silent pain that shapes your choices. Trauma isn't just a memory. It's a system that rewired your brain and still runs your life. Time doesn't heal. Awareness does. This is ThinkWise, where we expose the hidden psychology behind the signs you're still healing. Sign 1. They protect others because they couldn't protect themselves. Some people always try to help everyone around them. They stand up for the underdog. They make sure no one feels alone or hurt. They become the protector, the defender, the safe place, and people admire this about them. But here's the truth beneath the surface. It's not just kindness flowing from a pure heart. When you couldn't keep yourself safe as a child, your brain learned something powerful. It learned that protecting others feels like having control. It gives you the safety you never experienced. Psychology calls this post-traumatic growth. It's when pain transforms into purpose. But here's the hard truth nobody talks about. They're not just being kind. Deep down, you're trying to control the pain by preventing it in others. You're giving them what you desperately needed. And in doing that, you finally feel safe. Sign 2. They find joy in small things. They notice the little moments that others walk past. A warm cup of coffee in the morning. A sunny day, a kind text from a friend. People think this is beautiful, a sign of gratitude and presence. And it is beautiful, but there's a psychological reason behind it. When big things hurt you deeply, your brain has to adjust to survive. It learns to find safety and happiness in small, controllable things. Scientists call this hedonic recalibration. Your brain literally reset its happiness meter. It lowered its expectations to match a painful reality. But here's what no one says out loud. They're not always genuinely happy. They're just deeply relieved that nothing bad is happening in this exact moment. Their joy is mixed with vigilance, always waiting for the other shoe to drop. Sign 3. They're obsessed with independence. They never ask for help, even when they're drowning. They do everything alone. They say, "I've got it," even when they clearly don't. People call this strength, self-reliance, resilience. But it's not strength in the way we think. It's armor built from broken trust. When people hurt you repeatedly, especially people who should have protected you, your brain learns something dangerous. It learns that being alone equals being safe. That needing nobody means nobody can hurt you. This is called hyper-independence, and it's a trauma response. And here's the truth that stings. They don't reject help because they're naturally strong. They reject it because they don't trust anyone enough to be vulnerable. Being weak around others feels like handing someone a weapon, so they choose isolation over risk. Sign 4. They avoid deep conversations. They're great at talking about surface things, the weather, movies, funny stories, work gossip, but ask them about family, about their childhood, about the real feelings, and suddenly they change the subject lightning fast. They become masters of deflection. Their brain sees deep emotional topics as actual danger. This is called avoidance coping. It's a defense mechanism that protects them from re-experiencing pain. Their silence isn't peace or privacy, it's self-defense. And here's the uncomfortable truth. They mastered small talk because deep talk exposes the truth they spent years burying, the truth they're not ready to face, or the truth they think others can't handle. Sign 5. They handle bad news too well. When something terrible happens, they don't panic. They don't fall apart. They stay eerily calm. They think clearly. They take immediate action. People around them are amazed by this composure, but it's not what it looks like from the outside. When your brain experiences chaos repeatedly, especially early in life, it adapts to survive. The part of your brain that processes fear, the amygdala, learns to shut down emotion during crisis. This is called emotional shutdown or learned numbness. And here's what society gets completely wrong. They're not calm because they're strong. They're disconnected from their own emotions as a survival strategy. Their nervous system learned to go numb instead of overwhelmed. And we mistake this disconnection for strength and maturity. Sign 6. Birthdays feel like burdens. They don't get excited about their birthday approaching. Sometimes they even hide it from others. It feels heavy and exhausting instead of happy. Here's the psychology behind this. Your brain creates strong links between events and emotions. If birthday is connected to loneliness, disappointment, or pain while growing up, that emotional link stays embedded. Every birthday becomes an automatic reminder, not of celebration and joy, but of survival and hurt. The controversial truth? They don't celebrate getting older because every year that passes feels like proof that life still carries the same pain, that nothing truly changed. Sign 7. They deflect compliments. You tell them they're talented, smart, or beautiful. They immediately laugh it off, change the subject, tell you you're wrong. This isn't humility or modesty. It's something psychologically deeper. It's called a negative self-schema. A schema is like a mental program that runs automatically. Theirs says, I'm not worthy, I'm not enough, I'm not valuable. When you give them a genuine compliment, it clashes directly with that deep program. Their brain experiences cognitive dissonance, so it rejects the compliment to maintain its internal model of reality. Here's the hard truth. They don't deflect praise because they're humble or modest. Their brain literally cannot process being seen as valuable. It feels false, uncomfortable, wrong, because their entire identity was built on the opposite belief. Sign 8. They apologized for existing. Sorry for bothering you. Sorry for asking. Sorry for being too much. Sorry for taking up space. They apologize for absolutely everything, even for things that need no apology, even for simply existing in a room. This comes from something called conditioned guilt. In their past, their needs caused problems. Their emotions were inconvenient. Their presence was a burden. So their brain learned to say sorry preemptively, to apologize before anyone could reject them. The painful truth? They don't say sorry to be polite or considerate. They say it to protect themselves from the rejection and anger they learned to expect. Sign 9. They're all in or completely detached. They don't do relationships halfway. They're either completely devoted, giving everything they have, or they're completely gone, emotionally unavailable and distant. No comfortable middle ground exists. This is called black and white attachment, and it comes from trauma. After experiencing inconsistent love or painful relationships, the emotional part of your brain struggles with gray areas. It only knows extremes because extremes feel predictable, safe, even when they're painful. Here's what people constantly misunderstand. They don't fear commitment or connection. They fear half-love, lukewarm affection, inconsistent care, because that's exactly what broke them in the first place. So they choose all or nothing to avoid the confusing, painful middle. Sign 10. They read energy before words. They know you're upset before you say a single word. They sense tension in a room the moment they walk in. They pick up on the smallest changes in your tone or body language. People call this strong intuition or being an empath, but it's not a mystical gift. It's hypervigilance, and it's exhausting. Their brain was trained in environments where missing a threat meant getting hurt, so it learned to constantly scan for danger signals, tone of voice, facial expressions, body tension, energy shifts. All of this gets processed before logic even enters the picture. The uncomfortable truth people don't want to hear? They don't have special intuition or empathic powers. They have trauma radar that never turns off. Many think they've healed just because they stopped crying, but psychology says otherwise. You can smile, laugh, even succeed, while silent pain still drives your choices. Trauma isn't just a memory. It's a system that rewired your brain and still runs your life. Time doesn't heal, awareness does. This is ThinkWise, where we explore the hidden psychology of healing and the unseen signs your past still controls your present.